Hi, Earth Signs. This is your September um, kind of like preview reading for what kind of energies we're going to be going into in the month of September. And what I've noticed is that all of these messages have been kind of like separate for like different separate Earth signs. And so if you do end up liking the reading, like, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the notification bell, and leave me a comment if this resonates with you. All right, so the card at the bottom of the deck is you have the Five of Air. You can be dealing with someone who's kind of narcissistic, or this is even just kind of like um, somebody who wants to win at all costs. And also, too, this is kind of learning from a situation, a bad situation where you're just never going to win. Because you have right below that is the Five of Fire. Now, this is like competition. This could be workplace. This could be relationships where somebody puts you in like somebody puts you, it makes you compete. This person is kind of a narcissist and they make you compete for their attention because right behind that, you have the Knight of Fire. This person, he likes to kind of run in and out of a relationship, kind of hot and cold. This is think things through carefully. This person, yeah, because this person is like restless. They're always they're on the pursuit for something new. Or this quite possibly might be you Earth signs, but Earth signs really, well, no, that's not true. I know a couple of Earth signs who are like this. So, not all Earth signs are like this, but you could be dealing with someone like that. That person could also be quite possibly a water sign. Well, they could be a fire sign, a younger fire sign in their 30s, or maybe an older water sign, which is Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Air in the fire sign could be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or they can have both in their chart. Oh, yeah, because this person likes to be in control of situations, and they also could be very one-sided in relationships where they like it the way they want it. The relationship has to go their way, or it's either their way or the highway. Behind that is also the Hermit too, and here you are. Well, this is Earth sign, so this is the Virgo. This is the Virgo card. You can also be dealing with a Virgo too, but I really don't feel like that. I feel like this person or you quite possibly might be spending some time. I don't know. I'm not quite sure, but I feel like this is kind of like a spiritual type awakening card. You might be becoming more aware of what this person is doing and you didn't see it in the past. And it quite possibly you might cut it out. It might come to an end. Because you have the Ten of Air right behind the World. So this is really kind of like the end of the situation. This is like the difficult part is over. This quite possibly could be a karmic partner of yours. Someone who quite possibly has a lot of money. And this person is kind of like set in their ways and they want it the way they want it. It's like they run the show, but it's almost like here you come. You're probably going to come in and just start cutting the shit out. Reviewing your options and just cutting out what doesn't work for you and making a decision for what's right for you. All right. Excuse me, I'm so tired. All right. Crowning your reading is the release card. The release card is the death card. You could quite possibly be dealing with a Scorpio, or there's going to be an end to whatever this situation is. the situation you've been dealing here with a person making you compete, putting you in competition, always having everything one-sided. It seems like you're just going to cut that out and be done with it. That's coming to an end. That person quite possibly might be a fire sign too, but to me this is a very passionate person. This is like a sexual person. You guys might have a lot of passion for each other. You could be really attracted to each other. So the card, by the way, the cards underneath these cards, I haven't seen them. So the card clarifying this one, yeah, this person, they're just using you for sex, and it's breaking your heart because you know it. Like, you have passion for this person, you wanted to have something with them, but it quite possibly is a third party situation. All right. But you're going to move away. When you get out of this situation, you move this person out of your space. You're on your way towards joy after this heartache, because I think you're going to have that with that Hermit card. You're going to have that spiritual awakening, that kind of like epiphany, and you're going to realize that this person just wasn't meant for you. They didn't belong in your life. All right. And you have this hope card. This is like you're able to kind of like see the light at the end of the tunnel in kind of a way. This is the way I see it. When I do psychic readings, if I'm standing in the forest and I cannot see the moon beyond the trees, then I know there's blockages. But when I can see the moon beyond the trees, then that means that there's like, you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You have hope, like you're going to come out of this. But what does the book say? I just got this, so I'm like learning right along. Says, when the moon is hidden in the dark forest, it is hard to see your next step. It is easy to give in to the fear that there will never be safety or light again. I'm here to guide you when you have lost your way, whispering to you to maintain faith that good things will come your way once more. Take one step forward in your dream. I will take 2 steps forward to help you achieve it. Have hope, and only good will come of it. And also, too, another thing is quite possibly you might end this by the new moon or the full moon that's coming up. I really do like this card. It's so weird. It's almost like somebody put like my psychic vision on a card. I always felt like that was really interesting. And you know, the interesting place where I would always see this was in someone's 6th eye, their 6th chakra. It's almost like you're getting that like psychic, and also too, the moon has always had something to do with psychic ability. The ability to kind of see what's hidden. It's kind of like shining the light down on what's dark and bringing the truth out. Okay. All right, so next to that, you have the ego card. This is the devil. This is toxic relationships, toxic, addictions, codependent relationships. Relationships where it's just all about just the physical and nothing really else. This could be drugs. This could be drinking. I mean, anything could be addiction. I mean, one time I got addicted to drinking tea, and that's all I did. Oh my God, I actually came down from all that caffeine. So that's kind of an addiction. Shopping, workaholic. Anyways, the card clarifying this one is, this is the death card. This is a transformation card. You quite possibly, oh, this is same card. You know, interesting, it says ego. And another thing too is you quite possibly might be having an ego death at this time. There are really good videos on YouTube about ego death. God, I really should write that down. I want to do different kinds of videos, and I should start ego death. And kind of like what an ego death is and why you don't want to get rid of your ego all the way, but kind of not letting it rule you as much. All right, so the card. So this is the death of addictions. You releasing addictions at this time. Oh my Lord, because when you do that, you're going to find abundance in your life. Oh, this is just amazing. That's really interesting because in this card right here, this guy, he's got a bottle of alcohol right next to him. Look at that. I was just talking about drinking, right? So this guy, he's drinking, or he's drinking because he lost this instead of like doing the work to get it. This guy's not doing the work to get the abundance. He had it, but he just let it kind of like slip right through his fingers. I'm trying to get a good angle here. And look at this little girl. Ingenuity. She did something, and I don't know what she did. She put like gum on a string or whatever she did to pull that coin out. She worked for it. And this is kind of like working towards breaking this addiction. I mean, you know what? You or somebody you know might quite possibly be going to rehab, the hospital, because here's the thing, if you don't break those addictions, and quite possibly it might even be an addiction to somebody, what you're doing is you're kind of blocking your blessings and even blocking theirs. If you're not willing to let somebody go, you're blocking their path. They're blocking your path. And that means abundance can't come in for you. All right, here it is. Lust. I knew it. It's the lust card. That's what this person is all about. Lust. You guys lust each other. It's not like it's just them. I mean, you lust them too, but it's almost like you're having a hard time telling if it's love or if it's just lust. There's a fine balance between the desire that is pure and the obsession that arises in the insatiable thrill of danger. Be careful that your desire remains good and that your wanting doesn't cause hurt to yourself or another. It is best that you move cautiously forward. If you're asking about a relationship, you may be developing an obsessive fever that will take a long time to recover from. Ask yourself, what is the nature of your desire? Why do you want this so badly? Beware, there's always a hidden agenda in lust. What is yours? Interesting. So you kind of need to take a deep look at this lust and how you feel about this person, or why are you letting this person use you? All right, so you have the Four Air. This is the healing card. This is taking time out to rest after like the Three of Swords. So this is a card that would be before this one. So the heart's been broken and now you're taking time to heal from this situation. So the card clarifying this one is the waiting game. It's just, this is kind of like a mental type confusion. This is a choice. But you're not really making a choice. You're just waiting. It's almost like no choice is making a choice. It's interesting. This is kind of like not wanting to make a choice. It's like you not wanting to deal with the situation. Oh, the card you got is enlightenment. Yeah, you had the hermit card in there, and that's what the hermit's doing, is enlightening themselves. So maybe at this point, you don't even need to make a decision. Maybe all you need to do is just get away from this person, go on your spiritual journey, find your enlightenment as to why you are caught up in this type of situation. This might even be a cycle that you've been going through, a lust cycle. Like everybody that you meet, maybe it always starts off with lust, maybe sexting, dirty talk, and it just ends up being a sexual relationship instead of a full-on relationship like you want. I feel like in the beginning of a relationship, you quite possibly might be not putting your boundaries up. People are crossing their boundaries and seeing how far they can get with you. And if they feel like they can go as far as they want, then they make the decision right then and there, well, I can just get sex from her, so I'll just come and get sex from her. There's no point in having a relationship. Or him or her. Sorry, it goes both ways. Now, okay, you have enlightenment and understanding. Enlightenment has a lot to do with understanding and has a lot to do with awareness. You can't really become enlightened until you become aware. Says, it is one thing to read something or to hear something, but it is another thing to truly understand something. You're being asked to keep an open mind and heart, to allow yourself to absorb information as you receive it. Be open to the wisdom that can come only with time, patience, and perspective. Yeah, see, it is kind of a waiting game. It's going to take you a while to really understand why this keeps reoccurring for you or why this situation happened. Be open to the wisdom that can only come with time, patience, and perspective. Try to get outside of yourself and imagine what it is like to walk in someone else's shoes. To understand is to have power. So it's almost like this is telling you to approach this from kind of more of a neutral standpoint instead of an emotional one. Really kind of take time to meditate and reflect on why you keep finding these kinds of situations. People who put you in these competitions, people who use you for sex. All right, what do earth signs need to surrender in order to release themselves from this karmic pattern? What do earth signs need to do to release themselves from this karmic pattern? What do earth signs need to do that can release them from this karmic pattern? Okay, surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate is a more empowering way. Stay centered, hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Yeah, so don't react to this person emotionally. You need to tell this person if this person is going to stay in your life. What you need to do is don't come at them like defensive and be like, look, this is how it's going to be. You need to tell this person, if you're going to stay in my life, these are my rules, these are my boundaries, this is what's going to make me happy, this is what's going to make me feel comfortable. And if they don't understand, just then say goodbye, but do it in a peaceful way. It doesn't have to be fighting. Surrender to inner peace. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis. In quiet meditative moments, focus on the stillness within. Enjoy this inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. Yes, this time to kind of like the hermit, go in, go within, meditate, find your answers. Surrender to spirit. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. Yeah, let whoever it is you pray to, whoever you work with, I don't know, all these different spiritual, magical, religious beings that we work with. I mean, I work with what you would call God, but I do work with some other higher powers. So give it up to them. Let them do that. Let them do the work. Why don't you just take a break? All right, Earth signs, I really hope this helped you, and I will see you in September.